Riverton had always been calm at night, the kind of city where streetlights flickered lazily and the hum of distant traffic was the only sound to break the silence. Liam Carter, a journalist with a restless curiosity and a stubborn streak, was walking home from a late shift at the local paper, earbuds in, notebook in his coat pocket. He was used to noticing the little things, the subtle shifts in human behavior, the way a shadow lingered longer than it should, but nothing could have prepared him for the scream that tore through the quiet. He froze. Across a dim alley, a man was dragging a woman, her hands clawing at him, her cries muffled by his grip. Liam's instinct screamed at him to run, but his eyes, compelled by disbelief, fear, and some perverse journalistic fascination, kept him rooted. The attacker's gaze swept over him, sharp and aware, sending an icy warning down Liam's spine. The world seemed to shrink down Liam's spine. The world seemed to shrink around him, every flicker of shadow amplified, every distant sound meaningless compared to the reality in front of him. He knew, in a heartbeat, that witnessing this crime had changed everything. By the time he returned home, dawn had begun to soften the darkness, but Liam's apartment was a mess of adrenaline-fueled activity. Photos were spread across the table, each one a frame of horror captured in the chaos of the alley. The most important detail leaped out: a tattoo, a serpent coiled around a dagger on the attacker's wrist. His pulse quickened, he recognized the symbol from criminal whispers in his past reporting, linked to networks that thrived in secrecy and violence. Unable to resist, he posted a blurred photo online, hoping for identification, but almost immediately his inbox flooded. Threats arrived first, warnings soon after, and then a single image froze him in place, his own apartment door, photographed at night from the street. His stomach dropped. Fear had crossed into his personal life. He realized that the predator had seen him, had marked him, and that the nightmare he had observed in an alley had followed him home. Detective Nora Hughes was methodical and unshakable, the kind of investigator who saw patterns where others saw chaos. Liam reached out to her with his photos, half expecting dismissal. But when she examined them, her professional calm faltered just slightly. These weren't random assaults, they were part of a pattern, a thread of violence spanning months that had eluded police attention. Together, Liam and Nora began piecing the puzzle together, tracing connections, timelines, and locations that hinted at something far more sinister than a single mugging. As they worked, Liam felt the weight of reality settle over him. The predator wasn't just violent, he was clever, organized, and watching. Every phone call, every shadow, every passerby seemed potentially dangerous. The city he thought he knew had grown darker, full of hidden corners where violence waited. And yet, despite the fear, the need to uncover the truth burned brighter than ever. The first real threat arrived in the quiet of a rainy evening. Liam returned from a quick errand to find his apartment ransacked. Nothing stolen, but the message on his kitchen wall made his blood run cold: "Stop looking, or next time it's you." The words were smeared in something dark and unsettling, a deliberate statement of power. Every instinct told him to run, to hide, but his curiosity, and a stubborn sense of duty, refused. Even with Nora's warnings echoing in his mind, Liam found himself hyper-aware, every street, every passerby, every shadow a potential danger. The predator had moved from the streets into his life, into his home, and Liam understood that no lock or camera could fully protect him. The hunt had become personal, and every heartbeat carried the weight of imminent threat. His investigation led him to the edge of the city, to a dilapidated industrial district where warehouses stood like forgotten giants. One building, heavily graffitied and shadowed, seemed almost alive with menace. Inside, Liam saw the world of the predator, a mix of calculated criminal activity, casual cruelty, and a sense of invincibility. The same tattooed man he had seen months before moved through the room, confident, smiling, aware of Liam's presence. Nora stayed close, a steadying anchor as Liam navigated the dangers of this hidden world. Every step into the dimly lit interior felt like venturing into a nest of predators. The smell of damp concrete, oil, and decay filled his senses, and the tension coiled tight in his chest. Here, in the belly of the beast, he realized that survival required more than luck, it required courage and vigilance. The abandoned warehouse was a labyrinth of crates and shadows. Liam and Nora moved carefully, each step measured, aware that one mistake could be fatal. The informant's tip had brought them here, and the sense of urgency was overwhelming. Liam's pulse pounded as the attacker emerged, unmasked, smiling with an unnerving mixture of recognition and malice. The chase that followed was tense and brutal in its simplicity, feet pounding concrete, breaths ragged, hearts racing. Nora's experience and precision kept them alive, each movement calculated to protect and counter. The predator lunged, circled, threatened, but in the end, law and courage prevailed. He was captured, arrested, the network dismantled, but the relief was tempered by the knowledge that the danger had been closer than anyone could imagine. Even after the arrests, Riverton felt different to Liam. The apartment was fortified, cameras and locks in place, yet the lingering sense of being watched refused to dissipate. His story made headlines, his bravery praised, but he knew that witnessing the crime had left a permanent mark. Every scream, every shadow, every fleeting warning replayed in his mind. Nightly, he would sit by his window, the city lights reflecting in puddles outside, and wonder whether the danger was truly gone. He had survived, yes, but some nightmares do not end, they follow, subtle, persistent, reshaping the world for anyone who dares to look too closely. Liam understood now that life's ordinary calm could vanish in an instant, leaving only vigilance, fear, and the uneasy knowledge that some darkness never fully fades.